Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNally Money, your home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. In today's video, we're going to be profiling Algorithm Holdings. This is an AI technology and consumer electronics holdings company. A lot going on under the surface. Before we get into it, take a second, hit the like button, you guys. Big help to myself and the channel. If you're not already subscribed, McNally Money, feel free to join. And let me know in the comments section below if you've heard of Algorithm Holdings before and if you currently have shares. With that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video, we're going to be profiling Algorithm Holdings Incorporated, trades under the ticker RIME or RIME on the NASDAQ in the United States. A very strong start to the week. This is as of close on Monday, June 2nd, up 28 cents per share or 11.2% on the session, currently trading hands at $2.79. And you can see on a 5-day view, currently up about 17% over the last 5 trading days. Now, because this is the first time covering Algorithm Holdings on the channel, I wanted to jump over to the corporate website, algoholdings.com, where you can see empowering innovation through strategic AI investments. Our focus is on supporting visionary solutions that address critical challenges across some of the world's largest and most impactful industry verticals. Now, there's a link to the investor presentation, which we're going to go to in a second. But before we do, I quickly wanted to touch on the 3 pillars that support Algorithm Holdings. So number 1, pioneering AI-driven solutions. Algorithm Holdings leads in applying AI to key industries, driving change and unlocking new efficiencies, which we're going to look at. Innovating for a smarter future. So focused on bridging the gap between technology and industry, Algorithm Holdings solves complex challenges and elevates standards through AI innovation. And finally, empowering global impact through technology by leveraging advanced technology to help businesses operate smarter, scale faster, and deliver greater value. Now, if we move over to the investor presentation, I mentioned in the intro there's a lot going on under the hood at Algorithm Holdings. You can see they identify 2 business units being Singing Machine and SemiCab, which of course we're going to talk about in more detail through today's presentation. Now, as part of understanding this story, you're going to want to go into the recent news and events, again located on the investor relations page. As you scroll down, you'll see some key press releases, including the acquisition of SemiCab India on May 5th from Algorithm Holdings, expanding their global AI transportation footprint. Now, if we jump into that press release, you can see they give a great breakdown of these 2 business units, including SemiCab, which is an emerging leader in the global logistics and distribution industry. Since 2020, SemiCab has enabled major retailers, brands, and transportation providers to address these common supply chain problems globally through its AI-enabled, cloud-based collaborative transportation platform. Algorithm Holdings has the scalability required to predict and optimize millions of loads and hundreds of thousands of trucks simultaneously. So SemiCab uses real-time data from API-based load tendering and pre-built integrations to orchestrate collaboration across manufacturers, retailers, distributors, and their carriers. By using AI or artificial intelligence and ML or machine learning, they can predict and allow advanced predictive optimization models to enable fully loaded round trips. And this is a look at the SemiCab website here, talking about revolutionizing the way you move and offering solutions for shippers and carriers in the freight industry. Now, Singing Machine is the other side of this business, a worldwide leader in consumer karaoke products. They're based in Fort Lauderdale and were founded over 40 years ago, involved in the design and distribution of the industry's widest assortment of at-home and in-car karaoke entertainment products. So this one's super interesting as well. They've got a mobile app and select Wi-Fi capable products and are currently developing the world's first globally available, fully integrated in-car karaoke system. And worth noting, the products are now sold in over 25,000 locations worldwide, including some of the biggest distributors like Amazon, Costco, Sam's Club, Target, and Walmart. And again, a link to singingmachine.com if you'd like to go in and take a closer look at the products for yourself. And as mentioned, a wide array of karaoke products available on the website, really catering to all sorts of demographics and karaoke skill levels. So with that context, it now paints a clearer picture about the May 5th press release talking about this acquisition of SemiCab India and some of the key highlights, including accelerated revenue growth, with SemiCab India more than doubling their annualized revenue run rate since January of this year, a multinational client base, and of course that internal expansion blueprint, which establishes a proven model for expansion into other regions facing similar freight inefficiencies. Now, about a week later, Algorythm Holdings came out with a second announcement talking about a major fleet expansion for SemiCab India. So wasting no time at all, these transactions expand SemiCab India's active fleet to over 140 trucks, with rights to expand its fleet by an additional 450 trucks through their current contracts. And worth noting, an additional 1,000 trucks are in the pipeline from contractual relationships with these FTL carriers, or full truckload carriers, that are expected to close during the second half of 2025 as demand continues to rise. So a great example of the meaningful traction they're seeing in this market. So now that we've got a better understanding of these two verticals, being Singing Machine and SemiCab, we can jump back into the investor presentation and start to talk about some of the details. Now, as we just learned, the truckload transportation industry itself is broken, it's outdated, inefficient, and fragmented. For any of you who've participated in this market, it's very easy to see these cracks, and SemiCab is focused on transitioning this industry towards AI-powered, optimized, and dynamic solutions. Now, the benefits here are going to be reduced transportation spend by up to 10%, the elimination of empty miles by 70%, and an improvement in on-time delivery by up to 35%. So some key and obvious improvements from the status quo. Now, globally, the trucking industry itself represents a $2.81 trillion industry, with a large portion of that actually being wasted, with 1 in every 3 trucks being empty, over $984 billion in wasted shipping expense, nearly 142 billion empty miles each year, and combining to be the #1 contributor of global CO2 emissions in the year 2022. So obviously a huge TAM, or total addressable market, for companies like SemiCab or Algorythm Holdings that are looking to solve some of these challenges. So with that being said, it's no surprise that many industry leaders, including Pepsi, Kellogg's, Oreo, P&G, or Procter & Gamble, and even Unilever, are already taking advantage of SemiCab and their services. And they then go on to give some detailed examples of exactly how SemiCab is delivering real optimization to the global freight and logistics industry. So for example, AI-driven technology that transforms how assets are deployed and how data flows, optimizing in real time 24/7, leading to enormous efficiency gains and transformational versus traditional metrics in the freight industry. So as a result, you can see trucks that were traditionally a third empty or had less than 65% utilization are now at an industry-leading 90% utilization through these efficient SemiCab carrier routes connecting loads and lanes. So here's some great visualizations of these transportation routes. You can see before and after, simplified, orchestrated, and collaborative network solutions, and a load analysis summary case study, which shows the significant and impactful cost savings achieved through this predictive optimization under SemiCab. Now, we just talked about the addition of SemiCab India to the existing US contract freight market. So really starting to put together that global portfolio of solutions and expanding the markets that they're able to serve. So obviously Algorythm Holdings is making tremendous strides on the SemiCab division, but as mentioned in the intro, that's only half the story, with Singing Machine, or this innovative karaoke platform, being the other side of the coin. Now, I touched on this a little bit earlier, but Singing Machine has been the dominant in-home karaoke player for over 40 years in the category. They're already in partnerships with major retailers, e-commerce platforms, and a direct-to-consumer model through the website that we looked at earlier in today's presentation. And it's these key strategic partnerships that have really allowed Singing Machine to stay relevant for so many years. Now, the nice thing about this category or product is it really is a global market. You can see again headquartered in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And as a result of the popularity of karaoke, they've seen a number of innovations and upgrades through the company's history. So again, looking all the way back into the 1980s at some of the first karaoke machines available on the market. Now, where this gets really exciting is some of the innovations that are yet to come. So Singing Machine has now announced a partnership with one of the largest EV car makers, BYD, to fully integrate karaoke microphones into the vehicles. We talked about those strategic partnerships, one of which includes Stingray, who together are collaborating to pair karaoke music content with these hardware karaoke mics. And that's really the next step from these fully integrated on-screen karaoke experiences that people are used to in the comfort of their own home. So again, you can see integrating this proprietary real-time technology courtesy of Perfect Pitch, bringing real-time pitch correction designed to help correct a singer's voice to the lead melody of a song in real time. So again, a great example of how technology is really at the forefront of this business unit. Now, in addition to all of that, Algorythm Holdings also came out with their first quarter financial results on the 16th of May. And as we scroll through the report, I wanted to talk about some of the business highlights identified by Gary Atkinson, the CEO of Algorythm. So I quote, 2025 is off to an incredible start, highlighted by our recent acquisition of SMCB Solutions Private Limited, or SemiCab India, which we talked about earlier, which operates SemiCab's AI-enabled cloud-based collaborative transportation platform in the Indian market. SemiCab India is currently operating at an annualized revenue run rate of 4.6 million, with projected volume from its national and multinational customers expected to double that run rate by the end of the year. In addition, SemiCab India recently expanded its active fleet to 140 trucks and has access to an additional 450 trucks, which, in the event of actual growth exceeding projected growth, provides it with the capacity to quadruple its annualized revenue run rate from 4.6 million to over 23 million during the second half of 2025. Algorythm plans to develop its pipeline of pending contracts with the new full truckload or FTL carriers to grow its fleet to over 1,000 vehicles by the end of 2025 to keep pace with demand. I am highly optimistic at the company's outlook for the back half of 2025 and beyond. I believe our strategic pivot into AI logistics services with SemiCab will prove to be the correct decision, particularly during this period of extreme economic volatility. We have already seen a seismic move of manufacturing coming into India as a result of tariffs. We foresee this will create opportunities to solve logistic problems and force more optimization throughout the transportation industry. We are committed to continue to invest in the growth of our SemiCab business to take advantage of these opportunities. So talking about one of the catalysts on the horizon for the organization, as the expected tariffs and geopolitical concerns are really having a positive impact on the manufacturing industry in countries such as India. So with that being said, you guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Algorythm Holdings, a dual-pronged approach, again encompassing Singing Machine and SemiCab, and really harnessing AI and future technology to solve traditional challenges. If you're still watching the video at this point in time, hopefully you found some value, so make sure you hit the like button, you guys. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comment section below if you're already holding shares of Algorythm or if you have any additional questions about the company. And on a final note, we wanted to thank Cashew Technologies for sponsoring this video on behalf of Algorythm Holdings, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.